Greetings, travelers!
Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Nocturnal New Year.
Oh my gosh.
I keep listening to myself do this on the podcast, and I'm very thrilled with it, so I'm going to keep it going.
Are we going to get songs all year?
We might. I'm very musical right now, so.
Oh, Destiny better watch her back.
Absolutely has not to do that at all. Destiny's amazing, and but this is an exciting episode, Mark.
What? This isn't just the episode that I was going to do about the cockroach that ate Cincinnati?
First of all, you're going to say that, and everybody's going to want an episode about the cockroach that ate Cincinnati, which is not a thing, but people are going to think it's a thing because you said it. No, this is our 100th episode.
Oh, that's why the balloons and the ticker tape parade down the street earlier. I just thought I'd run into something.
Yeah, I wish there was a ticker tape parade for us. Maybe next year, maybe at 200 episodes. But this is super exciting for a number of reasons. The first one is for all of you travelers out there, our Patreon has launched.
What?
So
what's that?
We have a Patreon page that has a ton of amazing, cool benefits on it. It's Patreon / Eerie Travels, but you can get all kinds of artwork. You can get our books. You can get special episodes with us before anyone else and live interactions. There's a bunch of cool stuff. There's like 4 levels you can sign up for. So if you're a true traveler, go check it out. And I think for the first 3 months, we're going to have a very special treat if you sign up, which is a bonus treat, which is going to be, you get to have a signed draft of the Eerie Travels logo signed by the entire crew here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's exciting. So you can be a true traveler and sign up and support our ridiculousness.
So who all's signing that?
Well, not you. You're not important, but
okay.
No, just kidding. I think the people who are signing it are the people we have here today for this extra special episode.
What? It's a surprise party.
It's a surprise party. And we have here at the surprise party the wonderful Beau Lake.
Hello.
Wonderful Carrie Muncy.
Hello.
And back by very popular demand, Callie Muncy. Woo!
Hello, that's me. Hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
hello, friends.
All the animals have gathered around. We got Claudius. We got Pockets.
Pockets is currently munching on a sock right now.
Oh.
Well, I thought it would be really fun, since this is our 100th episode, to start off, of course, by thanking all of our travelers who've been on this journey with us.
Yeah, 100 episodes. We're just shy of a year that we've been doing this, because the anniversary is early February, so just about a month from now.
Yeah.
We hit the 100 episodes, because we started with just 1 a week, and now we've been doing the 2 weeks. So
and sometimes more with special episodes.
Yeah, special episodes. We've done 3, as poor Callie and Beau have had to deal with on occasion.
Our brilliant plans. Make more episodes, yes. So I thought it might be fun just to kind of go over all the cool stuff from this year for us so far. And I thought as an added bonus, we could each do a listener question.
Oh, that'll be fun. We could do that.
Ooh, reading.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fundamental.
I thought we should start with some of our favorite parts of this year, Mark.
Okay, I'll start it off. I think one of my favorite things that happened this year was when we did the live podcast at MegaCon, right, Callie?
Oh, yeah, that was really fun.
That was like, the show had only been going for a couple months before that. And
yeah, we started in January, and this was in like March, right?
Yeah, late March. And we'd already hit the ground running. We had a pretty good listener base to start with. And once we hit MegaCon, that was insane, because we got there and we thought, because we stood out front of the room and there was nobody, right, Callie? And then
it was weird.
But then we went over to the side. We realized that's not the door. That's the door out. So they took us to the other side, which was the door in. And the line was like around the corner, and we thought it was Juan Carlo Esposito's line, right?
Yeah, we were pretty sure it was for somebody like way more famous than us. It was not, though.
No, that was all for us, and we had to call Erika. This is our line.
Yeah, it was a packed room and it was such a fun energy too. Like I don't know, the crowd was really into the story. We had a lot of people come up after and share stories. So if you were there, like thank you so much. That was a really treasured memory from, 2023 of Eerie Travels. And we look forward to the 2024 MegaCon panels, I'm sure.
I think that was like literally our first live panel, and it was nuts.
Yeah, that
And
was
then we're coming up
our
on
first live show.
yeah, and they moved MegaCon to the end of January, so we'll be doing a new one in just a few weeks, which is crazy.
Which
Oh,
is
man.
exciting because I'm not sure if Callie will get to join us, but I know Beau might be coming to join us for that
I am
one.
coming.
Yes, I think the main reason Beau wants to come tragically involves Tom Hiddleston, but other than that,
Yeah,
second to that will be Eerie Travels.
No, it was Eerie Travels first, Tom Hiddleston second.
okay.
Priorities. We get it.
Callie and I are going for Danny Trejo, so
Oh, I
Well,
love
speak for
Danny
yourself.
Trejo.
I'm
Yeah.
going for Felicia Day.
Gary there.
Oh, I'm going for Felicia Day too, Callie. We can go up there together.
Absolutely. I've met Will Wheaton. Now I got to meet Felicia Day. It's essential. No offense, Machete. I love you very much.
Yeah, let's not offend him. He terrifies me a little bit. Okay. With that was a lot of fun. What about you, Callie? What was one of your favorites?
Oh man, I mean, it's hard to pick just one. I think honestly, one of my favorites was just the responses that we got like really early on, especially after like the Mandela Effect episode. I know we still get listeners talking about different Mandela Effect things, and like, I even had a moment of that with my partner recently. We were talking about the menu, and he was talking about how much he loved Anya Taylor-Joy, and I was like, you mean Anna Taylor-Joy, right? And so then I was looking online and I was like, I swear everything I've seen her in, it says Anna, not Anya. And like now I'm like kind of confused, and I'm having to like dig through Reddits. And even in the Mandela Effect Reddit, there are already threads of people talking about this exact same thing. And I'm like, maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe I'm from a different universe where she is Anna Taylor-Joy. Or maybe, and that this is my partner's theory, I can't read good. And that is fair. But
I was just gonna
prefer the
say,
theory that
Callie,
I'm
can
from
you
an
just
alternate
not
world.
read good? Like,
I mean,
I'm pretty
the
sure
English
it's Anya.
degree. I paid for this. I definitely can read this language. Don't fact check me. I promise.
Oh, the Mandela effects. We got a few more that we've gotten in emails after we did the episode. And
Oh yeah, I feel like every episode after that one, we were still getting more Mandela Effect stuff, and that was just wild.
We got some recent, some older. We had a couple Christmas ones come in.
We'll have to do another Mandela Effect episode going further down the rabbit hole of the Mandela.
Yeah, because there was a bunch,
Absolutely.
and now
I'm scared
now
my
there's
brain
one-
is gonna be broken afterward, though.
Oh no,
That's
one
fair.
of the emails I got was telling me that the Mandela effect, where we splintered the worlds by turning on the Hadron Collider, wasn't that. It was that we ended the world when we turned on the Hadron Collider, and now we're all in hell. And that is the only explanation for the last 5 years.
Oh,
10.
yeah, that might be it.
That's fair. I prefer the theory that it's Harambe. Harambe died, everything went downhill since then.
We have too many animals to be in hell.
Well, I did just show you the South Park Christmas special with the critters.
God.
So
No one should watch that.
Critter Christmas.
the critter
The
Christmas.
Forest Friends.
Yeah.
That is so
They're
true.
so good.
Oh
No,
my
Okay.
gosh.
Not how we want our
Okay,
readers to see
Erika.
us.
Erica, what was your favorite first year experience?
Well, I love meeting our travelers live. That's probably one of the best experiences I have. I love having a safe place at conventions for our travelers that have other abilities and stuff like that, and sometimes just need a safe space to come to. So meeting our travelers. A couple highlights for me. I have to give a shout out to X. X is freaking me out, and I feel like they're stalking us in a way. So that's a whole
Oh
thing
man.
for a later
Yeah.
episode. But the fact that they knew about a conversation me and you had not recorded behind a tent at Mothman, it was just, that's been weird. But I have to say, having our listeners share stories that freak me out all the time,
Yep. There have been some
That's-
fun ones. There have been some fun ones.
those are
What
highlights.
have I told y'all about my dad? He attracts the weird shit. the weird, creepy things, the spirits haunt him. They're gonna stick around with him. Feel like X is part of that. You know, like that's just the Mark Muncy magic, if you will.
Yes, I agree with you. And Callie, have you been keeping up with the fact that your dad's office mate there, not Carrie, I'm talking about the other one that's non-corporeal that keeps throwing books around the house?
You know, I'm really glad that you mentioned that because yes, I have. And yeah, that tracks. You know, it's crazy, Dad. North Carolina's so far. I don't think I'm going to be able to visit anytime
Oh.
soon. It's crazy. That's wild.
Up in that room.
Yeah, I'm gonna gift you guys some salt, probably. No reason, just seems like you need it for cooking, probably.
Well, Callie, you can come stay with me. I'm reasonably close, but do not have inhabitants the way your dad does. So you can come.
That you know
here.
of.
I'm just gonna have Carrie in every room with me to be the ghost repellent.
Carrie's not ghost repellent
It's
anymore.
not working anymore.
No!
Carrie,
Damn it, Carrie.
what was your experiences this year with Eerie Travels? On that note,
My favorite episodes actually involved a location, which is the Erika mountain home when we gathered on the porch. In particular, the Roo episode with special guests. I think that one was a classic.
The Roo. The Roo
Yes.
episode. Shout out to Val Willis here for the Roo episode and the sexually transmitted curses.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun one to edit.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to give a couple shout outs to a couple fans.
Beau hasn't gone yet. So then
oh yeah, sorry. Go Beau. Sorry.
Okay, Mark. I think my favorite thing about the podcast is always Mark's sign-offs for every episode. I swear he thinks of them in advance, but then there's no way because it's always episode specific and he just like rolls with it. And I wish I could think on the fly like that. Otherwise, I think it's been interesting how I've slowly made my way to be a part of this podcast. Like I guested and then I got to co-host in Indianapolis really randomly. And then here we are now, a year later. Persistence pays off. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, you just made yourself sound like a stalker.
I am.
That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Maybe I've been sending weird emails this whole time.
No,
Oh my
what?
God.
That would actually not still make sense because you weren't with us at Mothman, but you will be this
Maybe.
next year.
Yeah. Maybe I was
I
at
know.
Mothman and I didn't tell anybody about it.
You know how
There
when
were-
they spell like Beau in French, there's an X?
Oh,
But there's not an X in your name.
Oh,
If my Cali math is correct, and it often is,
I
have
think you
some
might be
questions for
onto
Beau.
something. You're onto something.
Beau is sus. Beau is sus. Are we
Mhm.
voting?
Oh,
Beau?
sus.
Guys,
You
I'm
sound like my
warning you,
children.
we're just going to get an email when you say stuff like this. That's all that's going to happen.
I don't know. Maybe X will say something nice about me in the email. I don't know. We'll
I
see.
don't know. I don't know.
It's gonna be like, that's a crazy theory. It can't be Beau anyway.
No, but there are two people I want to shout out very much, and that is Jake, our good
Yes.
fan Jake, who comments on every single episode on YouTube. Has not missed one yet. Then did show up at the Bartow Comic-Con to say hi, and has already said that they are looking forward to seeing us at Sci-Fi Bartow, which I'll be at in mid-February. But you guys will be up here at Mad Monster that week.
Yeah.
So
We're
Yeah.
going to be hanging with your favorite celebs,
I
Mark.
know Dennis O'Hare is going to be there.
Yeah.
You gotta send him my love.
Oh, your boyfriend.
Afraid so. But
Gotta
then
get him that coffee, Dad.
I gotta get him a coffee. That's that's
Oh, no, I'm going to bring him a coffee and say Mark's sad he couldn't see you. Trust me. I'm going to pay this whole thing forward.
Thank you, Erika.
But then the other fan I want to thank is Chris from Adulting Axolotl,
Yay.
who has made us a couple things that have gone on to become bestsellers for him. And that's his May Cocaine Bear Destroy This House Last, and May Mothman Bless This House.
No,
for
it's May Mothman warn you of infrastructure failures first.
Critical infrastructure failures. So
Yes.
because Mothman is not a piece of cake, he is here to warn us about critical infrastructure failures.
Yes.
Now, the only one he hasn't done is Bigfoot incest, so I'm waiting on that one.
Well, it's either that or STC or sexually
STC.
transmitted curses from the
Curses.
Rougarou.
Yeah,
Rougarou.
Roo-roo-roos.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of them out there adulting. Just keep that in mind. We're gonna
Just
see
giving
you
you
at a
some more inspirational stuff. So just keep listening. I'm sure he said he'll have that at MegaCon. He'll have a bunch of those at MegaCon. So
Oh, that'll be really exciting. I'm gonna ask this. What surprised you, Mark, so far this year with our Eerie Travels journey?
I think what surprised me the most was how many overseas letters and emails we've been getting. I knew I had a small pocket of fans over in the UK because of a couple shows I'd done over there, but I did not know that it spread as far as we spread all over the world. And we've gotten emails from the Czech Republic. We got emails from those guys in Norway that wanted us to check out a couple legends up there that I've been researching since then. And then we had one from the Philippines, I think. It's just that has been flipping me out that we've been getting so much overseas stuff. And that's just made me happy as can be.
I'll have to say what surprised me was how quickly we got listener feedback because
Yeah.
our travelers sending us stuff, not only from overseas, but locally, and how engaged everyone is who listens to this podcast. We love it. And as you see, if you want to stay anonymous, we keep you anonymous. So don't forget to send your stories and your questions because we love them. And they give us lots of cool ideas of things to research and look into for everyone, which is exciting. Okay, what about guests? What are some of your favorite guest moments? I'm going to start with Beau. What's some of your favorite guest moments, Beau?
I love when we have a guest on and then they make it clear that they've been like a fanboy of Eerie Travels. like being like, oh, I listen to this all the time. And we're like, that's awesome.
Stacey Brown, we're looking at you.
Yes, Stacey Brown driving around in his Uber, listening, and then making all of his rides listen to it too. Stacey Brown's gonna get us so many listeners.
Yeah, that's why we have this huge following in the Panhandle now. So
Yeah, it's true. And then Phyllis, when she was on, one thing that we didn't get to share with everybody is we had a surprise guest on that guest episode where when we were talking to her and she was talking about one of the experiences she had, clear as day on our recording, but it wasn't part of the live. Right after she talks about that, you hear somebody say, hello.
Yeah, we had a couple EVPs.
Yeah. I just
like
gave
that.
myself goosebumps. I just
Like,
know
it
myself.
made me
into that.
shiver. Oh,
Yeah, we were in between producers at that point, and I was editing that one, and I was like, what is that?
I knew it had to be you
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
because they knew Mark was the one doing it. They were
Yeah.
like, oh, Mark's
Exactly.
listening.
The ghost
Gotta say
know.
hey.
I'll have to pull up those files at some point and just do the EVPs. We'll play them back next time we have Phyllis on so she can respond to them because they were talking to her.
No, I agree. What about you, Beau?
I already went.
Oh, you did go.
Carrie,
Wow, I freaked myself out so badly with that question.
Carrie's got one.
Well, my favorite was Crislin from Wonder House, just because she's one of my favorite people.
And that house, if you have not listened to that episode and clicked on the link to that house, you got to look at that house. That house looks like something out of some weird gothic horror story or something.
I actually did after our last episode because it came up in an interview with a guest, and I looked it up and I was like, it does look like a haunted house. It looks very spooky.
Yeah, Robert Robinson, we did our interview with him just a couple weeks ago. That was the one place he wants to investigate. It's like, oh, we've been there. We know the owner.
It reminds me
you
of like the
gotta-
Winchester house. Like it has those same kind of vibes.
Same
You know
vibes.
you gotta
but-
warn me anytime you say the name Robert. You just
Oh,
freaked me out, man.
Okay, so
Not that, Robert.
not that Robert, Callie.
Thank
Not that
God.
Robert.
What about
Sorry,
you, Callie?
I mean, definitely Robert the doll. Yeah, he's the spookiest thing for me. I know that much is for sure. He's a great, wonderful boy. I love him.
He is a
so much.
wonderful boy. We had a guest on who was in the documentary for not the documentary.
I was like, was it Mark?
No,
Oh.
no, yeah, it was. She was in the same documentary as me. She did the reenactments, Sarah French, and I know
Yeah.
you nominated her for Queen Halloween, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
We love her. She was awesome.
She was awesome. Okay, Mark, what about you?
I really enjoyed finally getting, I mean, I know them well, but it was actually having them on the show was very cool. So many of these guests we've had, I really enjoyed Jerry Pauly from Hillbilly
Yes.
Horror Stories. But I gotta say, the funnest time I had, because it was like visiting old friends, was Jay and Chris the Girl, Tampa Jay and Chris the Girl. They were incredible, talking about all their Halloween stuff that they had done and all that. All they do is travel, so it was cool to talk to fellow travelers that are even more, but they were more along the just enjoying the place and the history behind the place. They like the paranormal stuff too, but it's they were having too much fun with it, and it was really a joy to talk to them.
I appreciate Jay checking out all the haunted houses because we are so going to more places next year.
Yeah, and he's good for Erika because Erika doesn't punch people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, apparently he wants to involve handcuffs or something. I don't know. It got really kinky, weird.
I was going to say that does
it.
sound really kinky.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
Sorry,
What?
I got freaked out by Robert, but I think my real answer is I just really liked our Hellview episode.
Yeah.
I really liked getting to talk with Beth about stuff that, like, you know, I mean, Beth's my sister, so it was nice to be able to talk about stuff where I'm like, yeah, we did both live in this house as a kid, and like these are things that we experienced, and it's nice to not be alone in that element, you know?
Absolutely. And I think we need to have a Hellview part 2 because there's a couple other things that came up with some people that were on the show that I think weren't talked about in your Hellview episode. So I think we just need to talk about growing up Muncy.
Because we had Sally came on to
Oh,
talk.
yeah.
She was also a Hellview alumni, and she also was, what, Callie, you're like nanny for forever?
Yeah, I mean, she and her wife, Lisa, babysat me and my sister for a long time. Like, Beth and I were both at her wedding. I mean, she was just really wonderful and super helpful growing up. And she knows tons about, like, werewolves and stuff and, you know, different, like, Native American ghosts and stuff, like, in her heritage. Like, she's just really cool and super smart. And I love Sally. I'm glad she came on the episode because that was just a delight.
We're going to have her back because we only scratched the
Absolutely.
surface with her. But
Oh, yeah.
And
so
that's the other thing. Now that we've had these guests on, I've gotten a lot more guests reach out to me that want to be on. So we're scheduling ahead, gang. So that's a plus. When we don't have to fight for guests and they're fighting for us. That's nice.
you're not quite fighting, but I love your gladiatorial analogy there, Mark. But I'm thinking we should probably take a quick break in our 100th episode. And when we come back, I think we should all do a listener question
I agree.
to honor our travelers. So let's do that. And we will be right back with Eerie Travels.
Greetings, travelers. Now available on Audible and other audiobook platforms, Eerie Appalachia. Join us, won't you, as we discuss creatures like the Popelick Monster, the White Fangs, the Snallygaster, the Wampus Cat, the Lizard Man of Scapewar Swamp, Bunny Man Bridge, and the Ohio Grassman. All these creatures and more await you if you dare listen to Eerie Appalachia, presented by Mark Muncy, History Press, and Four Horsemen Publishing.
Destiny Beard, the lyrical soprano who will haunt your dreams. With her alluring melodies and intricate harmonies, this dark siren of wistful song shall capture your soul and lead you into the night. Check out Destiny's new single, The Haunting Is Over, with international musicians Sam Haines and Gary Bennett, as well as her other musical works at destinybeard.com.
We're back.
We are back, and it's time for all of us to do listener questions.
Woohoo!
Who wants to go first?
I think Mark does.
All right. Yeah, I'll start it off.
Mark is nominated.
All right, because this one says, "Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi. Oh, hi, Mark, Erika, and other travelers." I just
Wow,
the first
Mark.
part.
Yay,
Classic.
Callie and
Love
I
that
are
question.
other.
Yay!
You guys are other travelers. Woohoo! So, all right. But all the other travelers who are listening, I'm assuming with that too. So everybody say hi. Hi. All right. Well,
Hi.
what would be the most terrifying message we could get from space? Since some governments admit aliens are real, sorry, the English is not my first language. Love from Portugal. Raul. Hi, Raul or Raul. I don't know. I'm hoping I pronounced that right. Thank you. And again, I love getting emails from Portugal. That's great. So what would be the most terrifying message we can get from space? I would have to go to the classic film, and it just comes from the planet Mars over and over again. And they go, "We checked and double checked." And the message is, Mars needs women. That would be the most horrifying thing I think we could get.
I think that the most horrifying thing was what Douglas Adams said, which is they're making room for a hyperspace bypass, so Earth is gone.
I was thinking this other one, whereas the final message from God, which was, "We apologize for the inconvenience." I thought that was pretty good too.
That's a good
So,
one.
What do you think, Beau? What would be the
I
most
thi-
terrifying message?
For some reason, the first thing that came to mind was just stop it. Because who knows what that means? Are we doing something wrong? Are
What
they
are we
gonna do
stopping?
something to us? Who knows?
Everything is wrong.
Stop everything.
All right, Callie, what do you think?
I mean, personally, for me, I'd say it's probably "Take me to your leader," because then that's a whole
Yeah,
argument that
who
we all
is
gotta have.
that?
Yeah, as a society. Then it's
Take
like,
them
oh,
to Taylor Swift.
That
Oh,
was my
period.
thought. I was like, take us to T Swift. That's where
Dolly
we
Parton. Dolly Parton in our
take us
area.
to Mother.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I figured it would be the Reapers are coming. So
No, I know how to deal with that one.
oh, that's true. You and Erika are master fem chefs. So
I'm in the throes of my Mass Effect 3 replay right now, the annual one.
I love
Nice.
that. Callie, you get to go next.
Oh, yay, reading. Hello. I woke up from what you could say would be a nightmare, or maybe an experience. I believe I was visited by my own version of a hellhound. Ooh. I wanted to try and run, yet if I did it, it would be chasing me. Eventually, the stare down ended with it licking my hands and saying I was free to go for now, yet I still had a foreboding feeling something else was waiting for me to turn around. I'm unsure of what it wanted or why it had shown up. Was hoping you may have some answers. Love the show. Johnny. Well, Johnny, you freaked me out, so I don't know how I can help you,
keep
but
thinking about that urban legend about like someone being in her house and like her putting her hands down to pet her dog and the dog licks her. And the next day she gets a note that's like, people can lick too. It's all I can think about right now.
oh no.
Beau, why the hell did you just take this already very creepy listener story and make it even more creepy?
That's what I
don't like
do.
it. Johnny, I would sell your house personally. I think that's the most natural response.
Or never dream again.
Dad, what's your opinion?
oh man. Well, Carrie, do you have an opinion on this one?
No.
No, just noping out. Okay. Yeah, no. I would say, like I said, you could be a nightmare, could have been an experience. We have had a lot of people asking me about hellhounds at a couple of personal appearances. Somebody said, I think I saw a hellhound. Now, before it was, black dog or snarly yow, or sometimes they were red dogs or white things. But this rash of hellhound sightings, I'm wondering if this is another group thing like we had Dr. Stamion saying, like a tulpa where everybody's manifesting a hellhound. This could be our fearmonger friend that, you're afraid of this thing. But I've had people tell me about where they've encountered some beast that smells of sulfur and looks like a big dog. And I would go with,
I mean,
that's what you might have encountered. So
usually a big sulfurous beast for me is just Taco Bell on a Tuesday, but
exactly. So I would say typical protection stuff to help. But if it didn't attack you,
I mean, it seems kind of nice. Like it's telling them not to turn around and licking their hands. Maybe it was protecting them from something awful.
say go with the Good Omens version, where once you name the hellhound, it's yours and it becomes what you name it. So if you name it Killer, it becomes a killer. If you name it the Beast, it becomes a beast. But if you call it Dog, then it's a dog.
A dog in dreams tends to mean protection or as a warning. So there might be some thought. I mean, the hellhound part, I mean, I'm assuming that means it was big and scary and in your dream was surrounded by fire, Johnny. I'm not sure how one distinguishes between a giant dog and a hellhound besides atmosphere.
The vibes.
But it might be foreboding. Maybe take a look at what's coming up or decisions you're making and proceed with caution, because it could be something having to do with that.
could also just be like a ghost dog.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe if you had like dogs in the past, this could be like a version of your old dog trying to warn you about something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, sell the house, personally.
The Erika version of everything.
And we can point you to some good realtors. And and as we've been discussing, for looking for sponsors, if a realtor would like to sponsor us for
We're willing to sell a haunted property, reach out to us. Let us know.
I'd love a realtor that could guarantee me a ghost-free house like they had on that one Nathan For You episode. That would be great.
That'd be good.
Not on ley lines either, so none can show up, because it might presently be not haunted, but all it would take would be your dad visiting and then change.
Oh man, do I got stories for that.
I have the Muncy clan back on. Okay, Beau, it's over to you, my friend.
My grandma is telling us stories we never heard now that she's in her late 80s and has dementia. She's been saying her mother could cast spells, specifically one about a stranger coming for salt and also running a nail into a tree for your enemy. She grew up in West Virginia, which you all seem to know a lot about. Just curious if you all have ever heard of this. Ashley.
Well, hello, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley. Yes, we have heard of this. I grew up in West Virginia, so that's why I know a lot about it. And now when folks get older and dementia is a thing, they sometimes revert to earlier days. And they remember things from when they were a child that they'd blocked out. Now, some of this people will say is, oh, they're remembering dreams they had, because we have trouble remembering dreams a day or two after, and it's tough to determine what was real, what was a dream, especially when you were a child. So that's why some people say you can't go by those early childhood dreams of seeing ghosts and seeing imaginary friends and invisible friends, as we like to call them, because, oh, that's just, your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and not. I think it does. And I would not be surprised if your mother knew how to do some old backwoods Appalachian witch magic. They would come and look for nails to put into trees for your enemy, and looking for special salt, not just salt you go buy down in the corner. This is rock salt that was dug up, usually on a property and blessed and stuff like that. The one plus is when they do get into this state, you are visiting them in a new era. So, visit them, listen to their stories, copy them down, record them if you can, because you're not going to have long and these stories are going to disappear. Sometimes with dementia, they say some things that are hurtful. They say some things that is the disease and not the person, but enjoy those times. You're getting a piece of a history there that's coming back to you. And I did that with my mom quite a bit when she was going through this, and that helped a ton. And then my grandmother before that and all that. So yeah, it's rough. I'm sorry you're going through that, but also there are pluses if you look for them.
I definitely agree. I mean, you guys know, like my stepdad, he had dementia back in January of 22, and that's when he passed, was in May. So it progressed pretty quickly, but there were a few times where like he was definitely remembering things that were, I will say, strange. I think one of the stories that he talked about was like one of his ex-wives, her dad had passed, but he knew her dad before he had passed. And he was telling a story about how, like, because he had thought that my mom was one of his ex-wives, like when she was in the room. And he said something about, I forgot to tell you, I saw your dad the other day. And we were like, oh, you did? Like, tell us about him. And he was like, well, he was in the living room the other day. And I know we went to his funeral yesterday, but it was weird that he was there and he was in his bathrobe that he wore. And I had a full conversation with him. And now, like, I don't know if that was something that, like, really happened with Roy or something, like, maybe he just never talked about, but it was definitely interesting. He also briefly met my partner, who he hadn't met, and unfortunately he wasn't able to meet him, until after he had dementia. But he did tell me that he was a sweet guy and that he wished that he wasn't on the run from the law, but he knew it wasn't his fault. And I always appreciated that for Roy. He acknowledged that whatever it was that Ben was doing with the FBI, it wasn't his fault.
That was the one thing my mom did say at one point when all the kids were around from my brother's family and our family, was that she hopes they all make enough money to keep Callie and Adam out of jail.
And that's probably safe.
Those have been the two, my nephew Adam and Callie.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice sentiment.
Yeah.
I think at one point we visited Granny and she was telling us about this like CSI episode, and like she had merged it with the commercial that she had watched, like the one with the guy standing in the cranberry bog, and like they had done a murder or something. It was way better than the episode, honestly.
It was like she'd been watching USA Network all day, and it was like every show had been one murder mystery that was tied in with these cranberry guys in between.
Oh yeah, it was so wild.
Oh my God, I love all
Miss
of
your
it.
mom. Miss your mom.
Love you, Granny.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Carrie, the next one's for you.
Oh my. Greetings, travelers. I have a question about the Yeti. Since most alleged sightings say it is reddish brown, why does pop culture portray it as white? I actually didn't learn about this until recently. And this is from William. Thank you, William. I guess a lot of people portray it as white because it's usually in a snowy region and that's considered more camouflagey. Like a lot of creatures you see up there, like white Arctic foxes, polar bears, like that you see in more snow terrain. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be white.
No, I think that kind of goes with the Arctic fox, where sometimes it changes its fur color as the year goes
in
on.
Spring, it might
maybe the Yeti does the same thing. Like it's reddish brown in the spring and summer, and then it goes to white in like November.
Depending on the area it's at. But honestly, I think that comes from the term abominable snowman. When that came around in the 50s, suddenly, when you say snowman, what are the newspapers, Ripley's Believe It or Not, and all that going to portray it as? But white, because it's a snowman. And it doesn't help that the most famous of all, the Bumble, came out right after that, and he was white. So before that, though, most of the stories say they were red or reddish brown. So I think it was just the timing. It's like Mothman being more moth-like. I think if you go by the original descriptions, he's much more bat-like and bat-squatch. But then because the newspaper dubbed him Mothman because they couldn't call him Batman, suddenly he's a moth. And I think that's what happened with the Abominable Snowman. So that's interesting. We'll have to talk to the guys at the Bigfoot Museum. I'm sure they have some comments about that.
What's interesting is there was a photo on, I think, National Geographic, or it might be the Parks Department. So if it's the Parks Department, we love your humor. Do not, but it's a picture of a buffalo. And this buffalo, you learn something. Everybody's going to learn something, and I promise I'm going to get to my point about this that goes along with this. But do you know buffaloes will walk into the storms? Because they know it's the easiest way to get to the other side is to walk through the storm, right? And they'll be completely covered in snow, just hanging from them, and ice. And I'm willing to bet that this is true with Sasquatch and other things like that, where it can appear to be white. Like you would look at this buffalo and go, that's a white buffalo, but it's not a white buffalo. It's a giant buffalo covered in snow, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering if some of these Yetis, because Yeti is just another word for Sasquatch, right?
Yep, that's just another term and another regional variant, we think. Although some people say, oh, it's only got 3 toes or 4 toes. And I'm like, well, that's the skunk ape. And as we discussed, Bigfoot incest. Sometimes they get the less toes. So
You were gonna bring Bigfoot incest back into this, weren't you?
I'm owning it now. We started that, so we're in it. So.
I have to tell a funny story about another one of the friends of the show, which is my friend Brandy, went to visit her parents, whom I love to death. Hi, Mom, Dad. And she decided to share Eerie Travels, which they listen to all the time now. So yay, travelers. But the episode she decided to share with them was the one where we talk about Bigfoot incest. And literally her dad was like, what did Erika just say?
Not my sweet Erika. Why would she say that?
I just love that was the first time we got banned from Facebook.
Yep.
And Instagram was because a fan had made a render of the band Bigfoot incest.
We're gonna have to work on making those pictures. Just saying.
Yep.
Just saying. Okay.
Things are going to have to be on Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry,
You
hear
want to
that? We gotta
see
make
some
merch.
explicit Bigfoot incest pictures? Patreon.com/Eerie Travels.
Okay. That's
That's
not
what our
accurate.
Pornhub ad's gonna look like.
No. Hashtag just kidding. No. You know
I
how
don't
many
know what's going to end up on there. We'll see.
Do you know how many people are gonna send us things going, I was looking for the Bigfoot incest, not in
And there is none. I want my dollar back.
Okay.
It was a very racist accent there, Erika. So I do not approve. So
You don't have that accent, Mark.
I do
And
when
in
I'm up there long
fairness,
enough.
I don't think Bigfoots have that accent either.
To be fair, we don't know what accent Bigfoot has.
In my mind, he's French.
He has a little beret. I'm French.
It's a bit of Sasquatch.
He is le Bigfoot, le Sasquatch.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Right now, Stacy Brown is shaking his head at you, Callie.
So are the entire country of France.
I would explain all the Cajun Bigfoot, and the Roo.
The
Roo-roo.
Oh my
The
gosh.
French were already mad at me. I failed that class a lot. I'm not good at French. I know omelette du fromage.
That works.
Yeah.
I think
I know
that's what
that one.
everyone knows in French.
I
Just
know
that.
how to say sit down now. Asseyez-vous.
Ooh, that was impressive.
I can sing the
Yeah.
French national anthem, but that was the only thing I was ever got.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
no.
I do want to hear me sing.
Okay, I'm gonna read the last listener question.
All right. Last
All
one for the
right.
100th episode. Erika, bring us out on a strong note here.
Probably not. Okay, let's see. Okay. 2 weeks ago, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to check my phone for messages. I already don't like the direction this is going. Okay. When I got back into bed, this thing got up and moved. Nope. It was
Yeah, so the bed.
Yeah, this is bad. It was transparent with little colors in it. It was a human form. What could it have been, Randy? Well, Randy, burn the house down.
I have a lot of questions for Randy. Like, was the human shape also in the bed? Do other people live with Randy? Was it just like Randy's like partner covered in
So-
glitter?
I think
I think Randy would have known if it was their partner covered in
Yeah,
glitter.
or pet. I don't
Um,
think you have a transparent pet like
But it's human formed.
This is in human form.
in human form, and it moved across the floor. It doesn't say how it moved. So this is a very basic
Well,
question.
let's-
So I have a lot of other follow-up questions for this, Randy.
I do too, but what I'm getting from this, if I'm reading it correctly, is he got into bed and this thing got out of the bed.
Yeah. At 3 a.m, he woke up for his phone to check messages. And when he got back into bed, this thing was in the bed, yes, and got up and moved. Yep, that is exactly what you're right. And it was in human form. Transparent human form, 3 a.m. Well, 3 a.m. is a common theme, as we know. That's when the veil is thin. It's called Soul's Midnight.
Isn't it the witching hour? Isn't that
The
a
witching
3
hour
a.m.?
sometimes. The hour of the wolf, police call it, because it's when most crimes occur. The hours from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. And that was big with the Warrens were big on 315 was called Soul's Midnight for some reason that they said they knew but never really published.
Well,
Wow.
I can go one of two directions with this. There is the Fae,
Hmm.
which
I
is
mean,
not
that's
the
with
main.
the colors, because it's not like it was a shadow person.
That's exactly what I was thinking, but yeah, transparent with colors in it. The shadow people tend to be black, and everybody discusses how black they are and how dark they are and how shadowy they are. So this was transparent, so almost predator-like, it sounds like, with
Oh
colors
no,
in
it
it.
was Predator.
Well, here's where I was going before you guys go completely into our Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Was I kind of wonder if this was somebody he knows that was just there with him.
Yeah, like a guardian spirit or protector
Yeah.
spirit.
Like a familial person. Because
Mm,
it doesn't seem harm. Like this is creepy, but it doesn't seem harm.
It
Sleep,
didn't
you might
spider
not have
walk
noticed.
up the wall and try to like jump at him.
Yeah.
It just was like, oh, this is your bed? Bye.
Maybe
Mm.
it just needed a place to stop to be warm for a second. When he came back, it was like, okay, I'm moving on.
Yeah, under the blankets. Yeah, was it under the blanket? Was it on the blanket? Was it?
Randy, we need clarification. Send us more
Yeah,
info.
so I will send a follow-up email, Randy, and ask for more info so we can talk about it on a future episode. But
I'm assuming either there was some light from their phone or a light or it glowed because usually you have difficulty seeing color in the dark. So that's kind of a question I have.
We've got a lot of follow-up questions here, Randy, from all
Yeah.
of us here at Eerie Travels.
but that was cool. But that's what we love about these questions is they tend to open more doors than they close. Wow, what a question. Thank you, Randy.
Yeah. And with that, I think we need to draw our 100th episode to a close.
So we've got the new Patreon just launched.
Yep.
Patreon.com/Eerie Travels. And you can get all the details there. There will be a link in the notes. I want to thank everybody for showing up for our 100th episode surprise party.
Yay.
So Carrie came and Beau is here and Callie came back and Callie brought pockets.
And he brought a sock.
That's good. That's good. So we appreciate that. So, oh my gosh, gang. So does anybody have any last words that they want to say before I wrap it up?
Oh,
I mean, I hyped up your outro, so this better be a really good one, Mark.
Yeah, there was outro hype, but I was gonna say thank you, travelers, for being with us on this journey, and we're looking forward to the next 100 great episodes from us with you. Okay, I just
Together.
those were words, and they were kind of together, and that's all I'm going to say.
Callie, you got any last words?
Keep haunting, keep spooking. Don't take Robert's name in vain. Hey, if there's a ghost in your house, burn it down, find a new one.
That's nothing wrong with
Bye-bye.
any of those. Nothing wrong with any of those. Carrie, do you have anything you want to say to the travelers?
Just thanks for being here with us.
Mark, you got to take us out of here. Bo's built up your outro.
It better
so
be
it's
really
be
good.
epic.
It better be so good.
Well, we've gone through 100 episodes and we had questions today that were some of our best yet. I am going to say when you do get up at 3 a.m. and you do come back to bed, be sure you look for something invisible and colorful. Make sure you pet the hellhound beside your bed, and we will see you on the other side.